Greetings, you all. This is Daymond Chief Jones again, coming to bring you more and more truth day by day. I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to do it. And the reason I have to do it is my honor and my own self-defense against a bully. You'd think a man at my age and my life and my experience and the contacts and resources I have, people shouldn't bully anybody. Whether it's a small child or an old person, they shouldn't bully nobody. But this man called John Masters, which that's his fake name, and I say fake versus a nickname, or like he says, a nick, okay, wants to be cool, it's a nick. No, a nickname is like Redbone, Mud Dog, Mud Flap, Clutch, Screwball, 8-Ball. There's just a ton of nicknames out there. But when you actually intend to conceal your identity so that you can engage in criminal activity, which is a con artist or a fraud artist, and you use that name to get by, then it's a false name. Okay? If you did it just because your friends call you that. But if you make it up so that you can commit consumer fraud, contract fraud, or you can lie about your past and people can't find out who you are to find out that you're committing fraud, then it's a fake name. His name is John Henry Spiel, S-P-I-E-L. Okay, he's 58 or 59 years old, up there in Portland, Oregon. Okay, and he just wants to hurt me and defame me. When I was on his channel for the 30 to 45 days, he gained almost 3,000 viewers. 428 of them emailed me. Now it's over 500. And people in the beginning said things like, why are you dealing with a known con artist? Why are you dealing with a known criminal? I said, I'm a preacher and I learned to forgive. And he said, those were years ago. Well, come to find out, it wasn't years ago. And he says that the only thing he got in trouble since he was a young man was for street busting. I think that's the term he uses for like a street vendor, people that go out on the street and sell their wares and their services to make the income that they make. That, like, John doesn't claim on IRS, according to what he says to me. He don't claim none of that money. So he may have trouble with the Federal Trade Commission on interstate commerce and fraud. And some people said they're going to contact the Federal Trade Commission, FTC.com, I think it is. I'm not sure. But anyway, they're going to file claims with them, and then with the Oregon Attorney General's Office for in-state fraud and the U.S. Attorney for interstate fraud, because he's taking people's money based on false claims. And that's a crime, the way I've been instructed by attorneys and judges. If somebody makes a false claim and they take money based on that false claim. So he's making all these false claims, so they're going to take action against him. He also said that I was Chief Daymond Jones, D-A-M-O-N, which is not me. There's another chief of police in Georgia who back in 2012 was a alleged victim of sexual harassment by his female boss. Okay, well, that in itself tells you what kind of mindset. So if you was a chief of police and if you was sexually harassed and you're just doing your job, and you resigned to get out from the sexual harassment, men are sexually harassed just as well as women, okay? Most men don't report it because it'd be considered a punk, a fairy, a queer, or some other thing that doesn't fit the narrative for cops, okay? You're weak or whatever. But there are a lot of men that are sexually harassed by male and female bosses in this current day, okay? I didn't experience that. Maybe I wasn't good looking enough. I don't know. Or maybe I just let it be known I was a Christian man and trying to live right and they left me alone. I don't know. But anyway, I ain't that chief of police, but he's been spreading on the internet. And he tried to tell Mr. Steve over at P&P News, don't promote me, don't have nothing to do with me. because I didn't really retire, I had to quit or resign over sexual harassment. Made it almost sound like I was sexually harassing somebody. But allegedly, this chief of police was the victim of sexual harassment. Well, why would he want to put that out there? And why would he be trying to bully me and stop me from my free speech by making false claims against me? That's slander and libel. And I have sent that message to John Henry Spiel that you're lying about me in print, in the media, on interstate media. And other people have contacted me, said, what's this about, this sexual harassment? And I said, well, go look up the case. It's Chief Daymond, D-A-M-O-N Jones, not D-A-Y-M-O-N-D Jones. And I've never worked a day in my life in the state of Georgia. I would have, but I just didn't have that opportunity come my way. In fact, I had talked to a couple sheriffs about maybe working up there, but their pay scale was too low for me at the time, and it wasn't going to warrant me relocating there. But I thought Georgia, especially in South Georgia, there was a lot of good small agencies that had maybe 2,000 to 10,000 people in a city or a county, and it was kind of laid back, and a lot of people knew everybody, and I thought, well, that might be a good place for me. Anyway, I wound up not working there. But John Henry Spiel, a.k.a. John Masters at On the Cops Studio News Network, he's never shown me, nor nobody I've talked to, and that's close to 500 people now, he's never showed proof of a single claim. Okay? So I say, show proof of your claim. Show that you win all these cases in court that you claim that you haven't. And you make it sound like you've won 20, 30, 40 cases. And you make it sound like you've won them all over the country and that you don't lose cases. Well, according to everything I see, you have lost all your cases, like burglary and attaching tags. Now, whether a person believes tags belong on a vehicle or not is one thing. But obviously he believed that a vehicle registration tag needed to be on his automobile or vehicle. So he took one off of another vehicle that he didn't have authority to use and put it on his. So that's actually a stolen tag and attaching a tag. Or if he owned two automobiles or two vehicles and one of them's registration ran out and he didn't want to pay the fee, but he wanted to fake it and hope to get by, he took tags off another one of his that was in date and put it on the other one. So that's attaching the tag not assigned. So that doesn't have to do with the registration thing. If you believe you have an automobile and you take it off the records, then you list it as an automobile, not a vehicle. But he was asserting, I'm a driver and I have a vehicle. Well, it appears he's been in trouble in Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Nevada, Missouri, Washington State, and Oregon. So he travels a lot, he gets in trouble a lot all over the geographic United States. Now in this video here, people could say, hey, are you bullying him? No. There's a thing called self-defense and anti-bullying. So I'm trying to self-preserve myself, self-preserve my good reputation of almost 40 years in law enforcement, trying to be able to let people know when I say something, I mean what I say what I mean, and my words are usually in the most simplest form to understand. I've also told people that many years ago I had some serious head strikes. So occasionally I will misspeak myself, or I won't finish a sentence, or I'll say something, they'll say, what'd he say? And even when I listen back to a video, I say, gosh, I should have said that different. So allow me a room that, some strikes to your head are very serious, and they happened in the line of duty. I mean, I was on the job. And then I also got a torn rotor cuff and some problems with my back stopping a homicide in progress, keeping one man from killing another man. It tore up my shoulder. And that's a story for another time. But again, I'm not the atypical cop or law enforcement administrator, whatever you can call me. I spent my time telling people I'm here to help you, not to hinder you, not to harass you, not to cause you any trouble in your life. So I was like Mr. Friendly, but I was that way on Monday and I was that way on Friday. I was that way at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. It didn't matter. What you see is what you get, okay? I've tried to find a way to keep people out of jail and keep from giving them tickets. And let's talk. Let's talk. Let's listen. Let's think. I'm a problem solver. And tickets and jail are a last resort. So let's find another resort to this. And yeah, I took a lot of heat from a lot of council people and city managers and superior officers to me over the years. And yep, I a time or two was told it might be time for me to roll on because I wasn't with the program. Okay. Anyway, I'll do some more videos on that, but I just felt like in my mind and heart I've been holding back, and I have to do self-protection. I have to do anti-bullying because I'm aware of other things he's saying and doing that may not be publicly well known, but I'm aware of it, that he's doing to destroy my name and my reputation. Okay, he's been to the penitentiary. He is a real convict. Except when I'd worked in prison, convicts were people that really realized they did something wrong and they were there to do their time, and when they got back out, then they lived their lives straight. Well, he's lived a bent life, okay, so he never learned. He just kept getting in trouble and getting in trouble, so he really didn't learn. What he learned is a few sleight of rule tricks, the shell game, to argue with police, to maybe get out of something, but he got in a lot more trouble than he got out of. So when you use his advice, and he's advising people what they should do, then I'd use it with a grain of salt, okay? I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a judge. Now he tells you that, but then he really acts more like he is when he ain't. And I think he secretly wanted to be a police officer, but he didn't have the moral turpitude, ethics, and standards to be a peace officer way back in his day, before it was ever converted. So he had not the ability to do that. So if you want to listen to his prison experience, if you want to listen to his jailhouse experience and him being a jailhouse lawyer, well, by all means, just know that when he's talking about me, it's probably a lie. I filed 5 copyright violations of YouTube, but I don't know what's going on with him on his side because they want something else and they want something else, they want something else and something else. So this is my 4th round with them. So I'm going to see it through. Unless I just drop dead, I'm going to keep re-going with YouTube and going and going and going. He's violated my privacy. He's harassed me. He's bullied me. He's frauded me, and he's done it all through YouTube. YouTube is his platform for criminal activity. I said it, I stand by it, and I sign a sworn affidavit of truth to the fact, okay? And in my religion, we're not supposed to swear an oath or stuff. And, but, you know, I'll have to ask God to help me through this, but I'll do what I got to do to bring this man to justice. This isn't a vendetta, it's a reckoning, it's an atonement. He's gonna have to pay for the wrong he's done to me and all the other people. I know people right now that said he's taking money from them on false pretenses and won't give it back. And he's basically said, well, you have to get a lawyer and sue me. Well, they can go pro se against you. And if these people that file charges against you, if they need my testimony, they need my help, I'm going to help them because your bullying, John Henry Spiel, must stop. You're a criminal. You're a bully. You're a criminal and a bully, and you're full of it. And the things you're doing may get some people in some serious trouble. Now, if there's probably, and as I've looked at it, there is some truth in what you're telling, but it's not all truth, and it doesn't fit all cases. You need to be more clear with people, because if these people go to jail based on what you're saying and they go back and say John Henry Spiel, fake name, criminal name, John Masters, over Studio News at YouTube, did all this and got me in this serious trouble. What do you think YouTube's going to do to you? What do you think me and everybody else is going to do to you? We're not going to be victims of John Henry Spiel. We're not going to be. I hope you pass this video to everybody you know so that nobody is a victim of John Henry Spiel anymore. Not the state and not us the people. Now, I forgave him and I forgave him and I forgave him, but he still has to pay up for the wrong. Okay, whether that's jail time or fines or to pay me any compensation due to me or to the other people, whatever that is. But after I forgave him, and he kept on and on and on and on, I can only take so much. I'm still a man. I'm a man of God, but I still only take so much. And I've been bullied. And I am very passionate about this. Now, I'm a strong man. And if I wasn't, I'd have spoke out much sooner. But I have been bullied. My family has suffered because people ask my family what happened about my sexual harassment case over in Georgia. So my family has to explain to people that you're a liar. You're a fraud. Okay? And if Jesus calls you home tonight, it won't be no time soon for me. But I'm going to do my best to keep praying for you. It's very, very hard, but I'll do my best. And maybe one day, this last set of bullings I can forgive you for, but not now. To everybody out there, I love you and I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for your emails. I thank you for your comments. Please help my channel explode. And this will be the last talk about John Henry Spiel unless he tries to bully me or crap people around, and then I'll come back and expose that too, okay? We must put a light on the cockroaches, okay? Cockroaches run and hide in the light. So we'll keep the light turned on, and when people were just a goofball, an idiot, a new fish, they were they were socially unacceptable. We used to give them a gobble, 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 gobble. Well, that's to you, John Master's fake name, John Henry Spiel, criminal, real name, gobble, gobble to you. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Boy, I better quit here because I'm either fixing to cry or make an ugly face. Okay? I can't stand it. It just burns me up. And if you're sitting there watching John Henry and laughing, well, good for you. You and the devil can sit together. Okay? Secular or Christian, people know right from wrong. Okay, they can have any religion. They still know right from wrong. I guess you don't get it. Well, I'm going to sign off before I blow a fuse. I'm going to have me a big, big, big glass of water, pray, and come back and do some more videos. Thank you for listening. God bless you all. And please help my channel explode. And I'll do everything I can to teach you the right way to deal with police in a street encounter, so that the policeman goes home safe and happy and keeps his job, and you'll go away with no ticket, and you'll go home and you'll say, that old Chief Jones knew exactly what he was talking about, okay? And I'll do all the videos I can to help you. Now remember, P&P News, they're doing an outstanding job. Steve over there and his people, wow. Fantastic. And LUCKFAWYERS, LUCKFAWYERS, they're doing a great job. And that's Jay Vincent over there. And Jay Vincent and I, we've been having some talks about verbal combat, verbal judo, displaced thoughts, things that police and certain other government officials are trained to deal with you in a mind game, and ways that you can talk to them that disorientate and interrupt their thought process while they're trying to interrupt yours. So you wind up the king and they wind up the subject versus them being the king and you're the subject. And if you want these videos, or you got ideas or questions about other things you'd like to know, put it in the comments, and I promise you Anywhere from 1 day to 3 days. I'll do my best to get out, even if it's a short video, something that'll answer your question. Because if you got the question, probably 100 people more got the question. And at worst, I'll have it out in a week. Okay, because I've got a life. I'm not like that other guy. I ain't even going to try and say his name no more. But I ain't like that other guy. He don't have a life. Okay, he's homeless by his own admission. And he has access to internet through some means, which I'm not going to say what that is. And he got a little cot to lay on and stuff. But then he talks about the homeless people in a bad way. Well, ain't that the kettle calling the pot black? And he talks bad about certain other groups of people. And I don't want to get into that neither, but it turns out over time I've found out that he's a bigot of many different sources. And, you know, I could trust him as far as I could throw him, and since I can't pick him up, that ought to tell you something. Well, all you good people out there, spread the word. Daymond Chief Jones is here to be the helping hand, to do what God always intended me to do, to tell you the truth. Okay? Now, in the Bible it says, let every man be a liar and God be the truth. Well, I think that is to say that all of us have told lies. I've told lies, you've told lies. Let's be honest about the lies, as it were. We've all lied. And some of us, probably all of us, is going to lie sometime today, and we're going to lie tomorrow. So let's just come to the truth. We're going to tell a lie. And cops tell the lies because the courts told them you can lie to people. But if people lie to you, it's a crime. So it's a one-way street. Don't sound equal and fair in law if one side can lie and the other can't. So there's two sets of rules. That might be something you bring up in court if you want to. It's not legal advice, just common sense. Can the police lie to me during an investigation when they stop me? Can they lie to me? And the judge says yes. Say, is that a crime? No. But if I lie to them, it's a crime. Yeah. Well, how's that fair and how's that equitable under the law, Your Honor? Remember, a judge is supposed to be a disinterested third party. So he should not be getting no pay from the state, because then he sees that's a conflict of interest. He's ruling on a matter that affects the state when he's paid by the state. You see? So all judges actually are in conflict of interest if you get down to it, because they're all paid by the people that's coming against you. So if they're paid by them people, then they're going to rule for them people. You know, you ever had to go to a doctor that an insurance company paid for, and how he always found that you was going to be okay? You know, even if he had to come to your house, you was bedridden and stuff, he'd say, you'll be okay by tomorrow. I'm going to release you for work tomorrow. Yeah, how's that? Why? Because he was paid by them. But then some people have these attorneys, and their doctors come see them and they say, well, they got a foot on the banana peel and the other foot in the grave. Looks like they're really, really messed up. So somewhere between really, really messed up and you're almost dead and you're ready to go to work is where the truth is. Yep. Now, I said that, and I'm going to say this. I know probably over 500 attorneys in my career. Some of them I've met for 20 or 30 minutes. Some of them I've known for years and years. Some of them are good guys trying to do the right thing, and some of them were mistrained, and they don't realize it. Just like cops. I know thousands of cops. Some of them are good, honest men. They're trying to do the right thing, but they were mistrained. And when they were mistrained, they did wrong. Okay, and they didn't realize it. And some of them, once they see this video and they see other videos, they get to thinking about it, and their conscience bothers them, and they go resign or retire. It would be better if the good ones could stay with us long enough to do the right thing, and could teach the other cops to do the right thing, and teach them that they're paid to protect us and to take care of us, and that's the number one duty above all duties. Their duties aren't to bring in revenue. Their duty isn't to try and get a raise by arresting people. So You know, if you got to be a corporal or a sergeant or lieutenant or chief or assistant chief or whatever because you write lots of tickets and make lots of arrests, think how much illegalities you entered into. Think about how many times you risked your life and how many innocent people you probably put in jail. Think about that when you're cashing your check next time. I thought about it, and I changed. I severely changed. The last 20 years I spent on the road, I acted as a constitutional cop. The first 20 I didn't, but I didn't know no better. I was waking up slowly, but the last 19 or 20 years, I did it right. I really did it right. And if I had enough energy, I would do it another 20. So all I can do is put this out there and hope cops will see it and say, hey, I'm learning from a man with almost 40 years experience. He knows better than I do, and I'm going to learn from him. I'm going to treat people better. So for that one cop or that 1,000 cops out there or a million cops, however many, God bless you. I'll help you. Okay? If you get in trouble for acting constitutionally and your department comes after you, send me an email. Okay? Because if you're acting constitutional and you're treating the people right, and you're really a peace officer, you're acting as a peace officer, and you're really concerned about people's lives, and your department comes after you, hey, write me an email and tell me. Not just me, but I have other people that have excellent writing skills, and we can prepare documents, and we can help you go against them to get your job back, because we want you on the job, and we want thousands and thousands like you, that you begin to be the majority and the bad cops the minority, and eventually we get rid of the bad cops. Okay? Now, if you're getting mugged and raped, yep, you need a cop. And then they're the good guy. When you get pulled over for a traffic ticket, they're the bad guy. Well, they should just be the good guy all the time. Okay? And when I was growing up in the 60s, most of them were the good guy. You know, and into the 70s for the most part. And they exercised a lot of free judgment, and they very few of them had ever been to a police academy because they didn't exist except in a few places. So they used common sense, wisdom, and logic. So it seems like the academy trained them to be bad boys and trained them to be who they are. Well, gosh, this is almost half an hour. This is way past what I went to do, but this happens with me. I love you all. God bless you and have a great day. And to the people that are secular, may peace and love and joy come to you. That's all. This is Chief Daymond Jones signing off. Sayonara. Aloha.